Though the video might seem a bit dull at times, the content here is far richer and more insightful than what you'll find elsewhere. Remember, you're not here to judge the video quality. You're here to learn, absorb, and understand. So please, watch till the end and let the wisdom guide you. Imagine growing up with a constant inner voice telling you that you're not enough, that your feelings don't matter, or that you're destined to fail. For many, these aren't abstract ideas. They're the harsh words that toxic parents repeatedly utter. Toxic parenting doesn't always come in the form of physical abuse or overt cruelty. Sometimes, it is hidden in everyday statements that chip away at a child's self-worth. Over time, these words leave an indelible mark, influencing one's decisions, self-image, and even relationships. In this script, we'll explore 10 toxic statements that some parents say and examine how these words can affect a child's life. More importantly, we'll reflect on the ways to recognize, understand, and ultimately overcome these negative messages. Whether you're someone who's experienced these words firsthand or you're seeking to support someone on their journey of healing, this exploration will offer insights into how such statements shape us and what we can do to reclaim our self-worth. Remember, our value is not determined by someone else's harsh words. It's built from within, through self-love, self-respect, and continuous growth. Let's begin this deep dive into the toxic narratives that many face and learn how to rewrite our story with a new script of empowerment. Section 1. You're not good enough. One of the most pervasive toxic messages children can hear is, "You're not good enough." This statement may be delivered subtly, perhaps through a dismissive tone or a constant comparison to others. When a child hears that they're not sufficient, it seeds deep-rooted self-doubt. They begin to internalize the belief that they lack the qualities necessary to succeed or be loved. Consider a scenario where a child brings home a piece of art or an academic achievement, only to hear a parent remark, "That's okay, but you could do better," or "Why can't you be more like your sibling?" Over time, these comments may lead the child to believe that their efforts are never enough, and that their value is conditional on perfection. This toxic message can affect every aspect of life. It can hinder one's willingness to take risks, dampen creativity, and even cause anxiety in social situations. The child may grow into an adult who is overly self-critical, constantly seeking validation from others and doubting their own abilities. Breaking free from this toxic narrative begins with self-awareness. Recognize that your worth is inherent and not defined by external standards. Seek support from mentors, therapists, or trusted friends who can help you challenge these ingrained beliefs. Reframe negative self-talk with affirmations like, "I am enough just as I am," and work towards building a self-image that reflects your true value. When you start believing in your own worth, you can begin to silence the echoes of, "You're not good enough." Section 2. You'll never amount to anything. Another common, damaging statement is, "You'll never amount to anything." This phrase not only dismisses a child's potential but also creates a self-fulfilling prophecy. If a child grows up constantly hearing that they are destined for failure, they may begin to doubt their capabilities and stop trying to improve or pursue their dreams. Imagine a child with a spark of ambition, someone who shows interest in learning, in exploring new ideas, or in pursuing creative endeavors. When a parent repeatedly tells them that their efforts are futile, it can extinguish that spark. The child may start to believe that success is beyond their reach, and as a result, they might not invest effort into developing their talents. This message can cripple a person's ambition and leave them stuck in a cycle of mediocrity. The antidote, however, lies in recognizing that every individual has the capacity for growth. Surround yourself with stories of perseverance and success. Learn about individuals who overcame similar negative messages to achieve greatness. Replace the toxic narrative with, "I have the power to change my story," and take deliberate steps, through education, practice, and self-improvement, to prove that you are capable of achieving your dreams. By challenging this internalized belief and celebrating small victories along the way, you can break free from the confines of, "You'll never amount to anything," and start building a future that reflects your true potential. Section 3. I don't care what you want. When a parent dismisses a child's desires by saying, "I don't care what you want," it sends a clear message that the child's thoughts, feelings, and dreams are unimportant. This disregard can leave a lasting impact, leading the child to believe that their needs are insignificant and that they must always conform to someone else's expectations. Children need to feel heard and valued. When their wishes are brushed aside, they learn that their voice is not important. Over time, this can result in a loss of confidence, difficulty in decision-making, and even resentment. The idea that one's wants don't matter can stifle creativity and prevent the child from pursuing what truly makes them happy. To overcome this toxic mindset, it's essential to cultivate an inner voice that validates your own desires. Remind yourself that your dreams and aspirations are important. Seek environments where your opinions are respected, and do not be afraid to advocate for yourself. Whether through therapy, supportive relationships, or self-reflective practices, learning to honor your own needs is crucial in rebuilding the confidence that may have been diminished by such dismissive words. By affirming your own worth and listening to your inner desires, you can reclaim the narrative that your wishes are valuable and that you deserve to have them fulfilled.
Section 4. Your feelings don't matter. A toxic parent may often say, "Your feelings don't matter," dismissing any emotional expression as trivial or exaggerated. This message is particularly damaging because it teaches a child to suppress their emotions and ignore their inner world. Over time, this leads to emotional numbness, difficulties in forming intimate relationships, and challenges in processing emotions as an adult.
When a child grows up believing that their emotions are unimportant, they might hide their true feelings to avoid conflict or rejection. This can result in a person who struggles to communicate effectively, who finds it hard to trust others, and who may even develop anxiety or depression. The antidote lies in validating your own emotions. Understand that every feeling, whether joy, sadness, anger, or fear, is a part of your human experience and deserves to be acknowledged. Learn to express your feelings in healthy ways, whether through conversation, creative outlets like writing or art, or therapeutic practices like mindfulness and meditation. By recognizing that your emotions are an important part of who you are, you can begin to dismantle the harmful belief that your feelings don't matter. Section 5. You must be perfect. The relentless pursuit of perfection is one of the most suffocating messages a toxic parent can impart. When a child is told, "You must be perfect," every mistake becomes a failure, and every imperfection a source of shame. This standard is not only unrealistic but also detrimental to self-esteem and mental health. The pressure to be perfect can lead to chronic stress, anxiety, and a paralyzing fear of failure. Instead of taking risks, the child may become overly cautious, avoiding challenges that might expose their imperfections. The drive for perfection often transforms into a constant internal critic that never lets you rest, undermining your self-confidence and hindering personal growth. Breaking free from this expectation requires you to embrace imperfection as a natural part of life. Understand that mistakes are opportunities to learn, not marks of failure. Cultivate self-compassion and remind yourself that you are human, and it's perfectly okay to be imperfect. When you accept your flaws, you empower yourself to grow and improve without the crushing weight of unrealistic standards. Section 6. You're a burden. A particularly painful message that toxic parents sometimes impart is, "You're a burden." This statement instills deep-seated feelings of guilt and unworthiness. When a child believes they are a burden, they may feel responsible for others' discomfort and become overly cautious about expressing their needs. Over time, this can lead to isolation, low self-esteem, and difficulty forming healthy relationships. The notion of being a burden can cause someone to suppress their true self, always prioritizing others' comfort over their own. It creates a cycle where the individual constantly doubts their value and feels undeserving of love and support. The path to overcoming this starts with recognizing that every person has inherent worth, and your existence is not an inconvenience to anyone who truly cares about you. Work on dismantling this harmful belief by seeking supportive relationships and professional help if needed. Remind yourself daily that you deserve to be heard, cared for, and loved. Stand up for your needs and practice self-affirmation until the echo of, "You're a burden," is replaced by a powerful reminder of your inherent value. Section 7. I regret having you. Few words are as heartbreaking as hearing, "I regret having you." This toxic statement can shatter a child's sense of belonging and worth. It plants the seed that their very existence is a mistake, a notion that can haunt them well into adulthood. Such a message can lead to chronic self-doubt, depression, and difficulty in accepting love from others. When a parent voices regret over having a child, it sends a signal that the child's needs and desires are unimportant. The child grows up feeling unwanted, and this can impact their future relationships, making it hard for them to trust or feel deserving of love. The healing process starts with understanding that these words reflect the parent's limitations, not your value. It is crucial to work on building self-compassion and to surround yourself with people who affirm your worth. Therapy, supportive friends, and engaging in activities that make you feel fulfilled can help reframe this damaging message. Remember, your existence is not a mistake. Your uniqueness is what makes you invaluable. Section 9. Stop being so sensitive. Sensitivity is often a double-edged sword. On one hand, it allows you to empathize with others and appreciate the beauty of life. On the other hand, being told, "Stop being so sensitive," by a toxic parent can be incredibly invalidating. This phrase dismisses your feelings and teaches you to suppress your natural emotional responses. When you're repeatedly told that your sensitivity is a flaw, you start to question the legitimacy of your emotions. You might begin to hide your true self, leading to a lack of authenticity in your relationships. This internal conflict can manifest as anxiety, frustration, or even anger, all of which hinder your ability to communicate effectively and connect with others. The antidote lies in embracing your sensitivity as a strength rather than a weakness. Recognize that being sensitive means you have the capacity to experience life deeply, to care passionately, and to understand others on a profound level. Learn to manage your emotions constructively, acknowledge them, express them appropriately, and use them as a source of creativity and connection. Over time, you'll find that your sensitivity is a valuable asset, enriching your relationships and adding depth to your interactions. Section 10. You should be grateful for everything I do for you. A common tactic used by toxic parents is to instill a sense of indebtedness in a child by saying, "You should be grateful for everything I do for you." While gratitude is a virtue, this statement twists it into a tool for control. It implies that your worth is measured by what you owe someone, and that unconditional love is contingent on your continual indebtedness. This toxic narrative can leave you feeling trapped in a cycle of guilt and obligation. Instead of recognizing that love and care should be freely given, you learn to measure your self-worth based on the sacrifices others make for you. Over time, this can hinder your ability to set healthy boundaries and assert your independence. The key to breaking free from this mindset is to understand that while gratitude is important, your worth is inherent and not dependent on what others do for you. Embrace self-reliance and learn that true support comes from relationships built on mutual respect and equality. When you internalize this message, you reclaim your autonomy and begin to value yourself beyond what anyone else provides. As we come to the end of this exploration of toxic parental statements, it's important to remember that the words you heard growing up are not a measure of your true worth. These 10 statements, whether it's being told you're not good enough, that you'll never amount to anything, or that you're a burden, are reflections of the limitations and insecurities of the person speaking them, not your intrinsic value. Every one of us deserves to grow up in an environment where we are celebrated, where our dreams are nurtured, and where our individuality is respected. But if you've had to endure toxic words, know that you have the power to rewrite your narrative. Healing begins with awareness. By recognizing the impact of these harmful statements, you can start to dismantle their hold on your self-esteem. Invest in yourself. Seek out positive relationships and supportive communities that affirm your worth. Engage in self-reflection, therapy, or counseling if needed. Surround yourself with voices that uplift and encourage you to become the best version of yourself. Remember, you are not defined by the toxic words of your past. Your worth is not negotiable, and your future is shaped by the choices you make today. Embrace your strengths, celebrate your individuality, and continue on your journey of growth and self-discovery. Every step you take toward reclaiming your value is a victory against the negative messages that once held you back. This journey is not an easy one, but it is profoundly transformative. As you learn to silence the echoes of those toxic statements, you'll find that your inner voice grows louder. A voice filled with confidence, resilience, and the unshakable belief in your inherent worth. Let that voice guide you as you move forward, forging relationships and opportunities that reflect the true value you bring to the world. Thank you for joining this deep dive into the 10 toxic things that can affect your life. May this exploration empower you to break free from the chains of past negativity and inspire you to build a future where your self-worth shines through every word, every action, and every interaction.